hear from Frances Huntley Cooper. She is a Wisconsin delegate to the Democratic National Convention. You are looking at Denver right now. But before we go to that, we are going to give you a sense of some of the last-minute preparations that are taking place at the Pepsi Center.
There's a statement about how committed he is to Barack Obama. Did you get this under your Welcome back to the Democratic National Convention. We're watching all the excitement today, the morning day, as Barack Obama expects Joe Biden to be his running mate. Let's find out from some of our Republican strategists, Republican analysts, how they view what's going on with the Democrats. Ed Mullins joining us right now from the CNN Election Center. And how did they do, the Democrats, on this important day?
It took 7 weeks of round-the-clock work to transform the Pepsi Center into this convention hall. Number 7.
Again, on some perspectives on work at the Pepsi Center going on just before the start of the Democratic National Convention. This is the current scene going on inside of the Pepsi Center as the Democrats prepare to start their activities for tomorrow. But right across the street, joining us from the U.S. Bank building, Frances Huntley Cooper, a Wisconsin delegate for the convention. Ms. Huntley Cooper, how does someone end up at the convention from Wisconsin?
Well, we have 92 delegates and 12 alternates, and I'm just so excited to go through the process and make this convention as a delegate.
Is this your first time coming?
No, this is my third time. I've attended in 1988 as a Jesse Jackson supporter in Atlanta, and then in 1992 as a Bill Clinton supporter in New York.
And who did you support this time?
And I am a Barack Obama supporter.
What convinced you? What was it that convinced you to support him?
Well, you know, I had already been a strong supporter of the Clintons for 8 years. And when I heard Senator Obama speak and just all the things he's done in the community just got me really excited. And I wanted to really support him with his relationships and opportunities that he will give the average American citizen.
When you cast your support on him, what about others that you associate in the political world? What happened, especially since you supported Mr. Clinton last time?
It was very interesting because the conversations, say the end of last year prior to January, a lot of people were all Hillary Clinton supporters. And so I'm wondering to myself, am I out of touch, you know? And then, you know, you just got, as time went on and people got to know Senator Obama and got to hear him speak and realize that he's just a nice, intelligent, average young man, that got people looking at him. But prior to that, it was, you know, most of my relationships and friends were Hillary Clinton supporters.
It says that you got to know Senator Obama initially through the NAACP?
Sure. I was president of the Madison chapter of the NAACP for 5 years. And you get to see young leaders, you know, elected officials who come to our national meetings and conferences. So, and Hillary Clinton had attended in the past as well. So both of the senators at different times had come through there.
Let me ask you about his decision of Joe Biden for his vice presidential nominee and his running mate. What do you think?
I'm very supportive of Senator Biden as his running mate. I think that's who that's a decision that the next president of the United States has to make. Has to be someone they're comfortable with. And, Senator Biden has always been there for the working family. People can relate to him. He's been a strong supporter of issues that affect the average American family. So I think that will be a great team.
Tell us a little bit about coming into this convention. What do you think are the most important issues for you to address? And is the convention so scripted that it basically it's pretty much scripted out over the days, or do you see input to make some changes, or do you think changes need to be made in the process?
Well, if that is the case, if there should be changes in the process, I don't think that will happen at this convention. Because I've been to 2 previous conventions, I think the most important thing is for us to take care of the business of the Democratic Party, to highlight all of the leaders, movers and shakers at the local, state, and national level, to let people know that there's unity within the party, that we communicate. And it's okay to have diversity and difference of opinion, but at the end of the day, on Thursday night, when Senator Obama gives his acceptance speech, all of us will be there for him.
Our guest is going to be with us to talk about the work of the convention, especially her role as a delegate. If you want to ask her questions to get a sense of the process and what goes on, and now's a chance to do so. The numbers, 202-737-0002 for Democrats. It's 202-737-0001 for Republicans. And if there are independents and other candidates that you supported, it's 202-628-0205. Ms. Huntley Cooper, what do you think will happen as far as Hillary Clinton's delegate count? You talked about unity. That's set to take place this week before the speech on Thursday. Give us an insider sense of what's going on in your delegation and what else you hear about what's happening between those who still support Hillary Clinton.
Well, the people who support Hillary Clinton are good Democrats and they're good friends. I have not heard anything but positive things. A lot of people who are early supporters of Senator Clinton will be supporting Senator Obama, and that's a good thing. We respect their difference, their opportunity to choose and select who they wanted to at the beginning. But what I'm hearing is that we are talking, we're proud of the people who supported Hillary, and we're going to be proud of them as they support Senator Obama.
As a delegate, what is your role? What is your day-to-day activities? What do you do?
Okay, well, in Wisconsin has scheduled activities for us. We get up in the morning and have breakfast every morning. So it's probably about a 2-hour briefing with all the delegates, alternates, and credential and committee members. And they will tell us what the highlights of the day were from the night before that we'll miss. Because as a delegate, you don't get a chance to watch television. You don't get a chance to really see everything that's going on at the convention. So that's an opportunity for them to keep us informed of what has happened, what will be happening, what we can look forward to in the upcoming day, and then give us our guidelines for the next couple of days as well.
You are sitting here in Denver. Your candidate of choice is in Eau Claire today.
That's correct. And the state of Wisconsin, we're so excited to have him stop in Wisconsin.
Is Wisconsin a battleground state of sorts?
It sort of is, but our governor, Jim Doyle, was one of the early supporters of Senator Obama right after the Iowa caucuses. And he was instrumental in getting people up and out and rallied, across the state. And that campaign seems to keep blossoming every day. People are going to be real excited. I'm sure he's going to have a huge crowd in Eau Claire for delegates and the people who weren't able to make this event.
The governor also responsible for your current place of employment. What do you do?
I'm with the Workers' Compensation Division for the state of Wisconsin. I'm the administrator of that program. And as you may know, Wisconsin was the first state to implement a workers' comp program. So it's a national model for other states, since every state has their own program of workers' comp. And that, of course, is with the Labor Department.
And Frances Huntley Cooper, a Wisconsin delegate, our guest. to calls for you. Shepherdsville, Kentucky. You are first on our line for those who support Senator Obama. Go ahead, caller.
I just want to say I'm more excited about this election than any election I've ever been involved in. I'm 60 years old. I'm a white woman from Kentucky, and I love Senator Obama.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I ever heard him speak, I thought, who is this guy and where have they been hiding him? You know, I thought, why doesn't somebody suggest he run for president? And of course, now he has.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I support his decision to have Senator Biden run with him. I think he's a perfect choice.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're at a time we have to start depending on a little diplomacy to get our standing back in the world, not on, especially among our allies. I mean, face it, the decision to go to war with Iraq drug a lot of our allies along with us and got them into this mess, and we're not too popular right now. Mm-hmm. And I think that America's a little tired of the warmongering, and we want diplomatic solutions. At least try first before you go charging into war. And now our army's so spent and so strung out all over the world that if we had a real attack here from a country, we'd have to be calling in our servicemen from all over the world, I mean, just to protect our own land.
Thank you, caller. Go ahead, Ms. Huntley Cooper.
You know, I think that the caller from Ohio made some good points about Senator Biden, and he will be a strong asset to this party as Vice President of the United States. We have here at the convention, there will be quite a few veterans activities going on to talk about and highlight what has happened and what can happen with the election of President Obama.
Lawrence, Massachusetts, on our line for McCain supporters.
Hi, good morning. I'm just curious about how is it that this year you're going to unify the party, Hillary Clinton, with all this commotion. You say yourself you were 5 years with the National Committee. Are you the one that consider yourself a bandwagon? Like jumping into Obama supporter when you were a Hillary supporter?
I was a Clinton supporter in 1992, and I supported Bill Clinton for 8 years. So I'm very proud of that. And then I think just like there are many other people who were Clinton supporters at one point in their life and will move over and support Senator Obama. So I think we're all Democrats. We're great Democrats. We believe in similar issues and concerns. So I think that will be a pretty smooth transition. And as you have seen, Senator Clinton's been out campaigning with and for Senator Obama. I think, that's a clear message. So we're proud to have her, and we're proud to have them as a team.
Our guest was formerly the first and only African-American mayor in Wisconsin of Fitchburg, Wisconsin from 1991 to 93. And I say that, Ms. Huntley Cooper, because earlier we were talking about, with our viewers, about two senators on a ticket and not one of them having executive experience. As a former executive yourself, does that concern you about two senators, none with executive experience?
Well, Pedro, when I came in as mayor, I had no executive experience in that particular position. I was the first and only African-American mayor elected in the state of Wisconsin. But, that is what helped me in that particular position was the support I got and the staff I had, the advice I had from others. Because it's not a solo position. You're there to represent what's the best interest for the city, the state, the United States, and that as a team can happen. So I think you complement each other, with if somebody has a weak area, then you strengthen that. Like Senator Biden has an excellent foreign policy background, and he can bring that to the campaign. He also relates well to the average working family, and he can bring that to the campaign. A lot of the issues that you hear from many of the people out there that are saying, well, we need this, we need that. I think that this team, this ticket, will be able to answer and hear and listen and bring those diverse views to the table.
Norcross, Georgia, you're on with our guest. Go ahead.
Good morning. I was registered a Democrat. I'm about to hit 50 soon, but I am switching over as an independent. And my main reason for doing it is because, I'm a college grad from Georgia. I've spent a lot of my working years in the Northeast living, and I relocated back to the Southeast. And I'm very concerned about jobs in a lot of the small towns in the Southeast, medium-sized towns in the Southeast, where right now people are moving like droves to try their best to get close to Kia plant in a town called Westport, Georgia. And there are no jobs. There are things like us versus them, my Latino sisters and brothers moving into communities, and I don't fault them at all for moving, trying to find better opportunities. Who I fault is, I'm really disappointed is our government for allowing a lot of these large businesses, corporations, to move away from, after they've sucked the energy and the life out of a lot of these communities, move to other countries and be able to produce their product and bring it back into our communities, where a lot of them now cannot even afford them. They don't have the jobs, and now they're not able to buy the product. And our country, our government, working in conjunction with large corporate America, they've allowed this to happen. And neither one of the main parties are talking about the things where, in these communities, we are barely making it. And pretty soon, the middle class is going to deteriorate, and it's going to be the ones who have it and the ones who don't. And I see a very, very scary scenario because a lot of people simply can't make ends meet.
Thank you, caller.
I'm from Wisconsin, as you know, and I work for the Department of Labor as a workers' compensation administrator. But in our department, we also, deal with unemployment and all the programs, welfare, W-2, and all the programs that relate to helping people get a job. But the other role I also play in the community is that I serve on the Madison Area Technical College District Board. I'm a trustee there. And one of the partnerships and relationships that colleges have, like the technical college, is to get those skills and training so that they can tap into and have people prepared for the jobs out here in your community. So no one supports sending jobs overseas, but what we try to do is make sure that our young folks who are graduating from high school, going to college, are going to come out prepared so they can have a job in America, in your community.
Our guest has 2 master's degrees from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, one in master's in social work, the other is a master in public policy. Ms. Hunley Cooper, it's covered by the graphic right now, but I noticed that you have a pin on that says AKA.
Yes.
What is that?
AKA is my sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, where we celebrated 100 years in Washington, D.C. just in July. And it's an organization that provides a lot of civic and community services, and we have definitely provide programs and education within our community. It was founded on the campus of Howard University. And I am, for the previous call, I did live in North Carolina for a long time. That's where I was educated. In North Carolina, went to A&T State University. So I know some of the issues that she was talking about regarding the small communities as well.
Tulsa, Oklahoma, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
It is an honor to speak with you this morning. Okay. I believe that the Democratic Party has continued to be of great benefit to our society and has moved our society forward with the historic campaigns of Senators Obama, yay, and Clinton. Do you think that any continued resistance by Senator Clinton's supporters to supporting Senator Obama will set back the cause of equality for women?
Well, I think that and I always said when I ran for office, I hope you're not supporting me when I ran for mayor as just a female. I hope you're supporting me based on the credentials I bring to the table. And I think that that's the same thing once. We had two dynamic individuals vying for the President of the United States, one a female and one African American, and both of those either way would be historic. So to me, I was excited about both of the candidates when they ran. But I think that the strong supporters of Senator Clinton will come over and support Senator Obama. I think that will happen. I think at this convention, Tuesday night is her night. It's women activities going on all day. So people will be out rallying, and rightfully so. She has earned her place to have a prime position at this convention. We're all so proud of what she's accomplished, and I know that she will bring that, and the supporters will come over and support Senator Obama as well. So I can't see that that will not happen. You know, there will be a few that may not, but for the most part, I think that will happen.
Greenwood, South Carolina, go ahead.
Good morning. I just wanted real quick, what's it like working with a coalition of people who, among others, over-promote environmental policies that increase the cost of energy and make it harder for low-income people to operate their whole lifestyle? And what's it like for your coalition of group of people to promote unlimited access or integration or, illegal people coming into this country and unlimited resources to help fund them and hurting poor people through their wages? And finally, what's it like to support a coalition of people like your group that stands for the denial of people to pray in school and other faith matters that hurts lower-income people? So everything you've built, your whole coalition is built around hurting, in essence, and you don't broadcast it that way, but hurting lower-income people and people of faith and people who believe in freedom and people who believe in the sanctity of our borders. The coalition you built is all geared towards teaming up a group of people to defeat people who stand on the right, who just want freedom and economic prosperity and freedom from the government, to be hounded by the government, to have every factor in our life driven by the government and the services performed by the government. I don't see how you guys are helping low-income people at all. In fact, a lot of your platforms are directly hurting them.
Okay, thank you.
Well, one of the things, Pedro, that the caller wasn't aware of, and you may have not been aware of this either, before I worked for the Department of Workforce Development, I spent 28 years as a social worker, working with a variety of people of all income levels. You know, a lot didn't have a lot of the advantages that my family had, and so I think you have to be sensitive to that. I think this Democratic Party has worked very hard and is comprised of a lot of individuals from all economic levels. So I do not see this as an inclusive or exclusive organization that just caters to one group or the other. We are very diverse, and the issues of jobs is something that is very important to this organization and campaign. If you don't have a job and if you don't have education, you're not going to be able to be successful. And this is what the Democratic Party has been about.
San Francisco, California.
Yes.
You're on, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. I think the way Obama passed over Hillary is a total turn off from the Democratic Party. I always voted Democrat. I will never do that with Obama. And not only that, I don't believe that Obama even won this election. He was nominated by total deceit, fraud, and generality by Oprah and all other celebrities. And I just don't believe he even qualified to be the next president of the United States. I'm voting for McCain. It's just a comment I wanted to make.
Okay. Well, I think there will be different people voting for different candidates, and but I just want to say Senator Obama has been. He's not there supporting or not being endorsed or pushed by just the celebrities. If you get a chance to hear him when he comes to your area, he's an average person. He's a great listener. He knows what the problems are, whether we're talking about health care, whether we're talking about the economy, education. I just see him as someone who you can relate to and will try to solve the problems that have been before us for the past few years.
Our guest is attending this convention with her husband. According to our paperwork, she has children and grandchildren. What does your husband do, if I may ask?
My husband just retired on Thursday from the county. Sorry. He had worked for the county for 28 years in equal opportunity, and he didn't want to miss this convention, so he just came along to be very supportive, and he's very energized about Senator Obama.
How many grandchildren?
We have two beautiful grandsons that are living in Madison, and they're going to be very excited,
Are they watching Grandma on TV today?
No, they're not.
Let me ask you, as far as cost is concerned, as a delegate, what kind of expenses do you incur in order to make this trip?
Okay. Basically, all delegates are responsible for their expenses, their housing, their transportation, and then there are so many other events that go on that you get invitations to that might help with your food, but you're also responsible for that.
If I may ask, how much does it cost generally to get there?
Okay, well, for Wisconsin, in the hotel that we are staying in, we're in the Denver Marriott, staying with the Illinois delegation in U.S. Virgin Islands. So the rooms are about $279 a night. It'll probably be about close to about $2,000. It'll be a little over $2,000 when you think about airfare, so about $2,500.
One more call. Fort Myers, Florida, are on the line for those who support Senator Obama. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Sarah.
Hi, I just wanted to say, I had something different to say, but listening to some of the callers prior to me, I think that a lot of people have made up their mind without listening or educating themselves on the policies of the Democratic Party and the policies that Senator Obama has introduced as his platform. Mm-hmm. And I also am a social worker. Mm-hmm. And it really upsets me to hear someone say, how do you feel about your group supporting removing jobs and so much to do to the environment to hurt people? It's not Barack Obama's intention to hurt people. It's his intention to take the people who have been hurt for so long under the Bush administration and move us back to where we belong, in the middle class.
Sarah, I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better.
And that was the last call. What's your activities for today?
Well, this is my first official day, so I'm up bright and early thanks to your show. And then there are several activities, opening activities for all of the delegates. There's an interfaith gathering that's going on today. And then later on in the week, I also really want to participate in the day of service that's going to be Wednesday morning. And I want to go to the school and help out with the reading to some of the students at the school.
Frances Huntley Cooper is a Wisconsin delegate to the convention. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Thank you, Pedro.